Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. The guests on my show today are super special. The ladies are fabulous. They are going to conquer the world for us and making us so proud. The winners of Femina Miss India 2023. Hello, ladies. How are you? I was thinking I'm going to give the introduction of your names, but I feel like I should just say the title and you should tell your name. It'll take you back to the stage moment. Are we ready? Should we do that? Yes. So, Femina Miss India 2023, second runner-up is...
Thounaojam Strela.
Moving on to Femina Miss India 2023, first runners-up is...
Shreya Poonja.
And Femina Miss India 2023 World.
Nandini Gupta.
I must say, inside I know you must be feeling something else, but you all looked so supportive of each other. True example of women supporting women, and I love that on stage. And of course, holding hands, they announced your names like it right now happened, and there it was. Let's think of the moment again, and I want to know what went through your mind. Each of you. This is a common question for all of you. Shall we start with you, Strela?
All right. So at that point of time, I was holding Nandini's hand. Yeah. We grasped each other's hands so tight.
I could see that.
And then it kind of hurt, and I let go, and then she grabbed again. I was like, yes, girl, let's do this. And we grabbed each other's hands so tight. And then when my name was announced, not my name, but my state was announced, at that point of time, I had a doubt that it was not me. It must be someone else. And then like I took a second thought. Did they really say Manipur? And then I saw them giving me the smiles. If we go back to the videos, you could see that Nandini was really giving me, support, so much of support. Yeah. So going back to that moment, that was what I was feeling. I saw Punya's face, I saw Anushka's face, I saw all my Northeastern sisters, all of them, Irene, Zwali, I call her Zwaza, like, all of us. It was a historic moment. It was not a win for just me, it was a win for the whole Northeast. Because at that point of time, all that we had in mind was that a Mongoloid feature like mine could not get a crown. It was impossible. We could try it, but then it was impossible. But then, sitting here in front of you with my girls, setting an example to all the Northeastern ladies who are an aspirant of, Miss India and beauty pageant, I think that really sets apart. And all the work, all the effort that we all have, all the Northeastern sisters, we all have put into, I think it's finally paying off.
I just wanted to say it was beautiful to watch you react and the feeling. We could see it all. So, congratulations again.
Thank you so much again.
All right, we're going to go here now.
Well, when we were standing on the stage, like you said, holding hands, so firstly, when Strela got announced, during that time, the entire 40 days of our journey, I was having flashbacks. It was as if, my soul had stepped 2 steps out of my body and I'm, in like a entire different space, and constant flashbacks were there. And when they announced the first runner-up, that moment, I did not hear who they announced. And I just started clapping for the person. And then I realized in the next 2-3 seconds that people have turned towards me. And one of the girls who was standing behind us, who couldn't make it to the top 6, screamed, "Delhi!" And I was like, oh God. So that's when I took my first step out. And I was just stuck in that moment. I was like, did they really announce my name? Am I right? And I kept on walking and, the crowd cheered. So I figured that, yes, they must have announced my name. So that was what happened that time.
Hello.
Hello.
Shall we talk about that moment for you?
Oh my God. I'm reliving that moment every time, even now and then, even while traveling, even while sitting and seeing on my Instagram how people have edited those videos, and I still have tears in my eyes. While that was happening, I was so happy for Stella. I had tears for her because, you know, a person like her who genuinely deserves the crown, who throughout the 40 days, I must say she was a girl who always had a crown on her head. And when she finally received the crown, I was like, go Stella, you deserve it. And I was like, woo-hoo Shreya, woo. Because, you know, it was a moment that it was like, I felt as if these two people deserved it the most.
So then you feel it's your win as well, no?
Yeah, I was like, okay, these girls had their worst and the best time with me. I gave them the best time, and they shared the worst time with me as well. And you know, seeing them walk on the stage and people cheering out for them, and they having
How
their
sweet,
first walk as the you know, first runner up and second runner up. So I was into that moment. And then when my name was announced, to be honest, I was still in their moment. And then as I was like, Rajasthan, and I was like, I skipped a heartbeat. At that moment, I was like, okay, this is me. Confetti burst up in air, and I walked up, and Cine was hugging me. And you know, that was a precious moment. I'm still into it. And having my walk, seeing the crowd cheer up for me, and you know, my parents waving from the crowd, Nandini. So I'm still in that moment, still sinking in the feeling that I'm going to represent India in the next Miss World. The day when I touched down at Imphal Airport, I worshipped the soil as if, please give me something. And when I went outside, people cheering up for us, that was a moment I started having tears. When I saw Stella's mom and, you know, people cheering up, it was a time that, you know, I really felt as if being Miss Rajasthan, I am receiving something from people. Yeah. All my hard work, all the sleepless nights, for everyone paid off that day. And you know, coming back from there and people noticing out, oh, she is Miss India, oh, she is Miss India, and then coming up to me and clicking their pictures, it was a moment that I felt as if, wow, you're never going to relive this again. But it, like the love and support that they give, it was truly commendable. I still go back and I have, you know, Instagram messages and WhatsApp messages from even the people from airport, and you know, so supportive of everyone. Oh my God, I still miss Manipur. I was telling her that Stella, I should get a home there.
Yeah, she was really telling me, I'm like, own a house there so that we can be neighbors. But Manipur loves the girls so much. Manipur loves
and
my
we
girls.
love Manipur.
Yeah. We went out, I think the warmest people, like I said.
True.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? So, like I said, with great power comes great responsibility. How do you plan to use this power of position? It is a position of power to eventually, when I say change the world, it sounds really, really humongous, but in your own little ways. So tell me about that. I'm going to start, juggle it a little bit. I'm asking Shreya. Shreya, why don't you start and tell us, you got about 2 days to think about it. I know that there must have been something in your mind.
Something that is very personal to me is that I really want to work towards the youth of not just our country, but eventually, you know, expand my mission outside the country as well. And it comes very personally to me that I really want to work towards the SDG goals towards 2030 that the UN has introduced, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And specifically, you know, involving the youth of our country into it, because like everybody knows, we are going to be taking it ahead and leading the example. The future generations, you know, the future of our country will also follow that, and you know, that would eventually create a big movement of change, you know, a revolution, not just for the country.
My main thing would be to work on, and actually literally work on mental health, because you know, even during pageant days, we had our good times and bad times. I hope I made sure that, I may be not present on the good days, but I made sure that I was there for them on the bad days. Because, when your family is not there with you and you have to face everything with yourself, and in the closed room where you have to live for 30 days, a new place, new faces, and of course, everything changes for you on an everyday basis. That was a time when I literally felt that, mental health is really it's something that we should all look upon, because even in my training days I was like, some days I felt anxiety if I'm gonna do it. Earlier it was like, if I ever gonna be Miss Rajasthan, and then after Miss Rajasthan I was like, if I ever gonna win this. So the self-doubt and a lack of self-worth was there in me. But the time that I started to conquer it and I started to make myself feel like that, because I had commendable peers with me throughout the journey who made me feel like you're no less than anyone. So it's how I actually grasped that mental health makes you feel your self-worth and not your self-worth.
As Nandini rightly said, I'm also an avid messenger of mental health, having faced a lot of childhood things, which, yeah. So leaving aside my advocacy, I would like to really spread or send a message to the world. We are not sitting here with a crown in hopes to rule the world or, do huge things. We are just here to set an example, small example if it ever matters. If we were to ever rule something, it would be our self-insecurities, doubts that we had. And I think that,
Love that.
that's something that the world needs now, especially to young ladies out there. So I think I would want to do that.
Fantastic. I love that. Every personal journey that I see in front of me right now is going to be an inspiration for someone sitting out there, and they overcoming their fears, and as society would like to say, their flaws, which I don't think they are. So I'm going to go there now. I'm going to start with you, Strela. I'm very aware of the fact that mental health is a very close topic for you because of what you've been through. You've been bullied. I'm very aware of the fact that, like we were discussing earlier, discrimination that happens around the globe and in our country as well when it comes to Northeast is humongous. And, every voice that is spoken against it matters at the end of it. And you've been among that. I would like you to slightly tell me how this journey was, for you. And from the start, because I hope everybody gets inspired listening to this.
Coming from someone like you, to me, this is such an honor. Like I can't fathom the love that you're giving me, giving us especially.
Of course.
So the journey, I wouldn't say that it was easy, because it definitely was not. But then again, on the flip side, we had a lot of fun memories and a lot of learning, even a lot of unlearning as well. Because this is something that I keep telling everyone, our team, even my girls as well. You know what, girls? I was so ready to face discrimination, racism. I was ready to take everything in. And then I was telling myself, Strela, you have to be strong before coming to Bombay. But then I came here, everything was completely different. So thankful to my team, to my girls, for making me feel at home. The hotel room was a home, away from home, and I'm so thankful for that. But of course, not in my Miss India journey. Before that, as I was growing up, there were instances that I felt unloved, unwanted, not enough, not good at all at the time. And then I would wake up and then, look at myself in the mirror and I would tell myself, Strela, why is your nose so small? Why is your eyes not big like the pictures that you see on television and stuff like that? And that would literally, push my self-esteem down to the floor. But then again, sitting here right now today, getting so much love and support from you, from my team, from the girls. I think we are slowly breaking that barrier, and we're getting a lot more recognition in that field.
You know, how you dealt with your epilepsy and how I think like it's not just that. I think there's so much stigma around it, right? And I think the fact that the world around you reacts that way also is just so disheartening.
Calling you something like you're doing it for attention, which is not. Only the people that has faced mental health issues will understand how much it hurts, because I have seen what they have seen. I have felt what they felt. The fear, I felt that.
Was there ever a moment that you felt like I will not be able to rise from it, but of course, you eventually did?
Of course, every single night, every single time the Caesar would hit, at that stage of aura, when you feel that it's coming, that would every single day it would literally break me. As a very young, I was very young as well, feeling so alone, no friends, and I could not go to school. Seeing my friends, live in vans, buses, I would literally dream that I would want to, but. Eventually I found the courage to pick myself up.
We are so proud of you,
Thank
Strela.
you so much.
And I think your parents are, and every single friend, and I'm sure all of us in this room are just absolutely in awe of what you've been able to do. And just the beginning, like I'd like to say.
Yes.
You come from Rajasthan,
Yes.
and you said that when you were a little child, you've dreamt of being Miss India.
True.
And I know it's not easy, because people around you sometimes look at the world of glamour and modeling as like, why would you want to do this, right? I am sure you've heard that.
Coming here in Miss India, I did face many people talking about, why do you want to go? Focus on your studies, you're just 19. But that there was one thing inside me that actually kept me on going, that Nandini, age doesn't matter. Maybe you're 19, maybe you're 20, or maybe you're 22. Doesn't matter. If you have something in you, this crown will shine through your soul. So it was a thing that coming from Rajasthan actually made me realize, and it was not just little girls who looked up to me. It was how women in the bounded in four walls used to come out of their houses and actually say that, okay, she's going to be there. She's gonna make us proud. ये हमें इस पे नाज है. How they used to say in the local language, how they said it.
Bilkul.
Yes. So it was something, that actually made me feel that, Nandini, you have to do it. And, the sparkle in everybody's eyes to see me winning and then congratulating me, it was like everything paid off. Kota is very famous for the Kota Doria fabric, and 2 days back itself, few of the ladies from the same community came at my home and told my mom that when she comes, please tell her to wear it when she comes for her visiting. And I was like, everything is now like falling in its place. Every sleepless night that I felt as if I'm not worth it, these people are making me feel I'm worth it.
Your mother came for some moment, they were ushered inside, and she put the crown while you were fixing your hair back on your head. And I think there was this amazing sense of joy and pride in the eyes of your family, isn't it? I mean, I was there. How are they feeling? Has it settled in?
I don't think so, because I never saw my dad crying, and seeing my mom, mothers are very expressive in their own way. Either they scold you, either they praise you. Even if they feed you, there is emotion attached to it.
100%.
And dad never showed this. And I never hugged my dad even for once in my life. And when I was crowned, he was waving in the crowd, and when he came up, he literally had tears in his eyes and a smile on his face that yes, his daughter has made him proud. And seeing that yes, I have done something for a father of 2 daughters who actually felt as if people made him feel that there is a need for a son. But coming from him, that beta, you have made me proud. And everybody in Kota is so proud of you. So it was something that yes, my mother didn't cry, but my dad cried that day. And that made me cry. So I was like, again, I felt worth it.
There has been a relentless pursuit of what you want. I want to talk about that, and like I rightly said, not everybody's journey is hunky-dory. You've been listening to what they had to achieve. I want to know what you had to overcome to be here.
Well, like you said, that I did have my own challenges that I overcame. So when I started preparing to compete and win a national title and go ahead and represent my country, that time I was young, like 16, 17, and then I prepared. I worked, worked on myself. I was not a very gym-loving person, but I had to, put myself in the habit of really making the effort to go to the gym every day, watch out on what I eat. So that was a major lifestyle shift because earlier I was a very, fun-loving, outgoing person, but centered to studies and a little focused. So all of this never came so naturally to me. Eventually, when I thought that this is something I should do and I have to do because I want to do it, then it took a lot of effort because I did not have friends who were like this also. So it was all based on me. There were lots of trials and what to do, who to go to, who do I seek advice from, you can't Google everything up. And then with a lot of, not everything was a major success in the first go. I then again competed where I didn't win. So, that was a difficult time because, when you're so desperately seeking something and, you've made that the center of your life, it becomes difficult to come out of it. So I had a very human reaction to it, and it was the time, right? I think it was 22nd of Feb, 2 to 3 weeks before the pandemic hit and the lockdown started. So I was actually slightly glad that the world is shut because all I was anyway doing was, hiding inside my blanket and answering phone calls from inside the blanket. So that was an entire phase, but I really truly believe everything happens for your highest good at every point in life. Post this, even though the heartbreak, although painful, my life changed so much. I think I lived my best life in, those 2-3 years. I traveled so much. I started working. I got some amazing opportunities. I cannot, really emphasize on that enough. And I worked with few of the most respectable people in the industry while I was still in college. Everything in time makes sense. Maybe right now, people don't have the answers to why something is happening with them. But believe me, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, you will look back and you will know exactly why it had to happen that way.
A lot of our former Miss Indias have chosen the journey of the Indian film industry as actors. Would you like to head in that direction? And if so, who is that director and that actor that you would definitely hope is in your wish list? I shall start with Shreya.
So obviously, the answer is yes. And somebody I really would, want to work under, not just as an actor, but I really admire his work ethic and really want to, assist under him as well, is Imtiaz Ali sir. And again, I would, want to star opposite Aditya Roy Kapoor. Hi Aditya, if you're watching.
Sure, do it. Do it.
I'm actually, his biggest fan. I really admire the way he's been able to pull off. Stop laughing.
So cute. I think I love it.
No, she really is a huge fan. Huge fan.
I'm sure I am going to try and make sure that he gets the message. But lovely, I hope that happens. All right, what about you?
Yes, I would love to work in the Hindi film industry, and I think if any other film industry has opportunities for me, I would like to grab all of them. The one director precisely would be Sanjay Leela Bhansali sir.
Of course.
His movies are commendable. I watched them, I don't know how many times I must have watched Devdas, Padmavat, Bajirao
stunning.
Mastani. Yes, so it's like, eye-catching movies, and I would love to work in one of his movies in future.
I love that. Is it a coincidence that you're named Nandini? Or is there a Sajarila Bansali fan in your house? Is
can say that.
Is there a connect there?
Maybe, you can say that.
What about you?
Could we have another option? Like, I wouldn't say no.
No,
It's
no,
just
I'm saying, you can obviously say you don't want to do it. But I'm saying that would you want to head in that direction? If you head, then probably the director and thing. And if not,
So-
which direction would you want to go to?
So, the thing is, I never really had the thought, because as much as Miss India is a dream that I thought could not be reachable, Bollywood or the show business is something much more bigger than that, something that I felt that me there, I had that. So I never really had a chance to actually think about it, but I will think about it right now. Maybe I'll start from tonight. And maybe
never know.
in the next meeting, I might have an
You
answer.
might have an answer to that. But if not in that direction, which direction would you want to go? Like, if I take out that option, you can have anything that you want to choose. What would you choose?
Business is my first love, but I love to write. I'm a person you would find in a corner with a pen and a pencil and just be in her own imagination. So if I could, then I would love to write screenplays, for movies behind the camera.
But that's fantastic. Some fun question, ladies. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. These are common questions, so we can go from this direction. Is this in this direction okay?
Is it
Tuck,
fine,
tuck, tuck.
guys?
Okay. You go first, you go second. Okay, quick. And here we go. Are you ready?
Kind of.
A former Miss India's journey that you are totally inspired by and why?
I think it would be Sydney because having met her personally, she is very relatable. She's so sweet.